inside. Boston going to work. Scores off the backboard. 4 seconds to go. Boston to Hull. Left wing. Fires a three. Good! Hull heads with .3 to go in the third. Woo!
Well, Danielle, we just wrapped up the college basketball season, and now the WNBA is upon us. Tonight is the draft, and free agency's been going on at a hectic pace after the CBA was agreed on. So there's a lot of news to catch up on in the WNBA here in the month of April.
Yeah, that's crazy. This weekend is literally free agency and the draft. And I don't know how I feel kind of bad for the players that they have and the teams, but more so for the players that they have such a short free agency period. And what is the biggest free agency and the biggest contracts available. Um, but it's happening and AZ was just drafted number one as we expected. People tried to make it seem like, oh, there's no clear number one, but I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear too. She has an exceptional skill at shooting that's easily going to translate, and nobody else had an exceptional skill. Or,
Hmm.
Betts has exceptional size. I think,
Hmm.
but nobody else really had an exceptional skill that is going to translate as well as that skill of shooting. And I've always said shooting's the most important skill in basketball. So we
Yeah.
thought
And
AZ would go number one.
yeah, like she's arguably the best shooter in the league today. And Betts is not the tallest player in the league. And Betts can't
Right.
compete with like Asia or Fee or Stewie, like those guys are so tough. The bigs in the league are so good from a skills perspective. A rookie is not going to make an immediate impact.
Yeah. Except on the defensive end, she might be able to. I
Sure.
think
Yeah,
she's a
yeah,
great
that's
defender.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
she can
great
probably
defender.
guard those as well as anyone.
Yeah.
Not that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and AZ's a great defender. That was the thing about AZ.
Hmm.
She's the most complete player in the draft that I've seen. I mean, we don't know about the international players, obviously. So,
Sure.
fair game. Is Awafam more complete? I don't know. I've never seen her
I
play.
would
But
guess
out of the,
not. I think she's 19, so probably not today, but is her ceiling higher? Maybe. I don't know.
yeah, we don't know. Yeah. But out of the players we know of, AZ was the most complete player and the one with the most one elite skill that is going to not just translate, but it's going to be an elite skill at the WNBA level as well. So yeah, the draft is going on live now. The Fever are actually on the clock, so we can catch up on the draft in a few minutes here. But um, yeah, what about free agency? It is
Wow, well,
hectic
it's
and
been
crazy and a
crazy.
lot going on.
It's so crazy. Well, first off, there was the expansion draft too, double expansion draft. Um, and let's see, what was interesting in expansion? Bridget Carlton went number one. Portland
That
snatched
was
her up before
interesting.
Toronto could get
I
her.
would
That
not
was
have
pretty
called
rude.
that at all.
No, it was pretty. I mean, she's an exceptional role. I assume that there weren't a ton of big stars available. And then if there are they going to sign with you, right? Like if Vegas didn't protect Asia, you're not taking Asia because she's obviously staying in Vegas, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, Bridget goes number one and signs like a max, I think a 2-year max contract. So good for her.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
She getting paid more than uh, the probably almost everybody else in the NBA. Only who else?
Well, so
Who
far,
had the Supermax?
Kelsey Mitchell's the only one who's signed a supermax so far.
Yeah. So
Vegas came out immediately and said that they're giving Asia a supermax. It hasn't been signed yet, so I'm guessing they're waiting to see if, how they can work out the numbers as they fill out the roster. Um, but Nafisa could also get it potentially. The other Marina gets taken from Connecticut, goes to Toronto. She and Sykes both end up signing there for pretty much 2-year max contracts, which is an interesting take. But if you're going to be bad for a few years, you're at least going to be entertained, I think.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, then maybe we start out free agency talking about what Indiana's done because the expansion draft,
Hmm.
like what, not a lot of big news in the expansion draft, I
Nothing
don't think.
major that's going to
Yeah.
impact. Like Indiana lost Chloe
Just
Bibby, which
Minnesota lost
more.
some depth, which
Mhm.
after the free agency, losing Carlton now looks even worse after what happened to Minnesota in free agency. But let's start with Indiana.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about their free agency so far?
I think it's going well. It's people on the internet are losing their minds because they haven't had a splashy like signing of like a top player, but to me, you have I think three of the top 10 players in the league on your team already. If not 10, 50, you can't argue with 15. Three of the top 15 players for sure. And you're bringing them all back. You got Kelsey Mitchell, you gave her the super max. You're feeling good if you're Indiana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's your big free agent signing is Kelsey Mitchell, right? I mean,
Exactly.
you mean, that you're happy to have her back, and you had to. She was a free agent, so I mean, hopefully, a lot of the teams are obviously counting on some of their stars coming back, like Vegas and New York is getting all their stars back, it seems like, but
Yeah,
there's
not a given.
not a given. So yeah, their big free agent signing was Kelsey Mitchell, which was great.
And yeah, and then I think the next thing that came out was getting Lexi back, and then getting Sophie back. So now you're returning like not just the big three, but crucial core role players on the team, and you're feeling really good about that. Um, Lexi is so both for Mitchell and for Cunningham, they're both on just 1 year contracts, which makes sense because Caitlin will be eligible for a max next year, and you got some things to figure out financially. So you at least run it back this year and see what happens. But Lexi's on a multi-year contract, which is good because Lexi just brings those intangibles that it's hard to replace.
Yeah, that was great. Those are yeah, other good signings, bringing those two back. And they did lose Howard, um, and they lost Bibby, as you mentioned. But then they brought in Heinz Allen,
Yeah.
um, who I thought you had a funny comment in the family thread about bringing in Heinz Allen.
Oh, what? I don't remember. You'll have to tell me which
Oh,
one.
about a second player to protect
Oh,
Caitlin.
sure. Yeah, you're not gonna mess with. I mean, Heinz Allen is a tough player, and she's like probably one of the few players who AT can't push over, you know.
Right.
So yeah, you're not gonna mess with Caitlin if you have Sophie or Maisha Hines Allen on the floor for sure. So
Yeah.
that's good news for Fever fans. The internet is upset about it because she had a bad statistical year last year at Dallas, but Dallas was a mess last year. You had what's his name, like kind of having no idea what he was doing as a head coach, and it was just kind of a mess. So we watched Hines Allen in college. She's a solid, like the way I described her is like she's Draymond Green light. She's not as nearly as good as Draymond Green, but she's a skilled big who's like strong and you don't want to mess with. So,
Yeah, and sees the floor well.
mhm.
Is a good defender. She's not a like Draymond's like an all-time great defender, and Heinz
Right.
Allen is not that.
No, not at all.
But she just her body type. I mean, she's big and strong, and she sees the court really well. So yeah, Draymond, very very light version of
Light,
Draymond,
light.
but
Yeah.
just yeah, but it's the similar. You could I agree 100% with that comp. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think Indiana looks good. I would say,
Billings, so they signed Mo
yeah,
Billings. I
that's
think
another
that's
good
a
signing.
Speaking of light, she's Gabby Williams light to me.
Mm.
I would have loved Gabby, but Gabby's going to Golden State and presumably for close to a max, I would guess. I don't know if the details of her contract have been announced. Gabby's the dream, but she was not affordable for us. So got Mo Billings on a 2 year contract. She has the athleticism. I think she's a little taller than Gabby. And she has some experience with some of the Fever players. She played with the Hive and Unrivaled with Kelsey Mitchell this past winter. And that's like a 6-person team. So they spent a lot of time together on the floor, off the floor. And then at the FIBA like World Cup qualifiers, she was on that team because Boston was injured and wasn't able to go to that. And so she got time with Caitlin on the floor in those games. And I think she was the player that Caitlin assisted the most during those games. So they had like just played well together. She's smart. She does a pick and roll well. She runs the floor really well. So I think she's fantastic. I think she's an upgrade over Howard. Shorter, but brings like an athleticism and um, fits the style of how Caitlin and the Fever want to play a little bit better than Howard, I think.
Well, do you think she'll be the starting four though? I mean,
I
Lexi's probably the
think I
starting
would be.
three, right?
Well, Sophie was starting over Lexi for a while. There
Mm,
were so many injuries last year. It's kind of hard
yeah,
to base anything on that, but there was a time when Sophie was starting and Lexi wasn't. There's
that's
also a
true.
world where you
Yeah.
could start Sophie and Lexi and go small, but if I were, and they, her contract details came out today, I think, and they're paying her $800,000. So that's a big contract for a bench player. So I'm guessing the plan is to start Billings.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Then Timpson will be coming
hmm
off the bench, and one
Timpson,
of
Hines Allen, Dantas.
Sophie.
So they brought Dantas back, and people were mad about that too on the internet. But Dantas is like a good role player. She's been with the Fever. She can shoot the three.
Yeah, she's a
She
good
has
backup
size.
big.
Yeah, you're asking her to play 5 to 10 minutes. She's on the veteran minimum. It's a good signing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else on the Fever you want to talk about?
Um, let's see if they've drafted. Whoa, they did. They drafted Raven Johnson at 10. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, they also, speaking of South Carolina, um, they drafted Ty Harris as a backup point guard. So I don't understand why you also take, why do we need two South Carolina backup point guards? Seems
Oh
odd
yeah,
to me.
yeah, yeah. Don't understand
Because Ty
that
Harris
draft.
is from Indiana. She's from the Indy area, Ty Harris is.
Okay.
And they signed her. And yeah, you assume she's backing up Caitlin. So who's backing up Kelsey is my question. That seems like an um,
Yeah. Well, maybe they were looking
unfilled
for
area.
Dugalich and just got caught unprepared with who to draft next.
Maybe. That's
Yeah, I'm
wild.
not. Yeah, that's really disappointing.
Yeah, I don't think
Hmm.
that's a good pick at all.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
like
she's a
it.
great defender, which is a weakness in your guard
That's true, but she's
spot.
small. Like we
But
talked
she's
about the
small.
lack of size and
Yeah.
that
Ty
Indiana
Harris, I
has.
think, is better than Raven in every way, and you just signed her, so I'm not sure what is going on there. But there's more free agency to happen, so we'll see. But that's an odd pick to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What about the Wings? They got the number one pick tonight, and they made some good pickups in free
They made
agency.
some great, I think they arguably have had the best free agency so far, like in terms of change. Like obviously Vegas bringing back their core, New York bringing back their core, Indiana, but in terms of like teams that needed to make massive changes, it's probably Dallas or LA, but LA has some questionable, like, is it right to kind of bunk the young players and go to win now?
Hmm.
But yeah, so for Dallas, they steal Minnesota's bigs and get Alana Smith and Jess Shepard, uh, which are both fantastic players. So that's a big pickup for them.
Yeah, that was a great pickup. I really like Smith a lot, and she's going to be a great fit for Dallas. And Jess Shepard really impressed me last year with Minnesota. I couldn't believe how much I feel like she's improved since
hmm
her time at Notre Dame, and she was a great contributor to what Minnesota was doing last year. And so, yeah, Dallas really improved at the expense
Yeah.
of Minnesota.
They did re-sign Enrique on a 2-year max contract, which was interesting. I don't know that I would have gone for 2 years if I were them. I get wanting to give it another year and see if it works out with Paige and Enrique, but it didn't look like it was working out last year. But kind of everything wasn't working out last year. So I think it's fair to give her another shot because if it does work out, that could be really great.
Yeah, but I mean, then to your point, with Indiana signing Ty Harris and then drafting Raven Johnson, you sign Enrique to a 2 year and you draft AZ Fudd. I mean,
Yeah. And
I'm
you have
not,
Isaiah James on that team.
yeah, who I really like too. I mean,
hmm
I think she's got some real upside
Yeah.
to her game. And so, yeah, I'm not really sure. Well, Dallas did a great job with uh, getting bigger and more skilled in their front court. I'm not sure what they're doing in their back court right now.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna have to pick a direction and commit at some point. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Is Enrique a tradable asset? I don't know. I feel like if I were Dallas, I probably would have let one of the expansion teams make her an offer she couldn't refuse and, kind of close that chapter. But
Yeah, I think I would have gone with that route as well. Because then now you got Smith, you got Shepard, get a three, and then have Page
well,
and AZ as your backcourt of the future. I mean,
they seem to like Maddie Siegrist quite a bit. They have her still. Isaiah James could play the three, I think.
yeah, better than making Page play the
Oh
three,
my
which is what you're
gosh.
going to have to do,
They
right?
are
I
gonna
mean,
make Paige play the three. It's so sad.
but she's going to play the point guard on offense and three on defense, probably is
Exactly.
what she's going to
Yeah.
do. I don't
And
see,
They'll hide Enrique on the weakest of the three. It'll be
right?
AZ and Paige taking the tough assignments and hiding
Yeah,
Enrique where you can.
yeah, but yeah, I don't like. I would have liked to have seen them get rid of her, move on from Enrique as well, and let her wish her the best. Thank you for all you've done.
Oh, they
Go get
also
your
brought
money.
back a Walk Coulier, I think, who was one of their
Oh, I did
international
see
bigs
that.
who was out for a couple years playing overseas and brought her back. So they have good size and good depth at the post position.
Did what about
Um,
Yi LaRue? Is that
oh yeah, they have her too.
they have
So
her back too? So
yeah,
you, I
so
mean,
they
they've
have
got
four very playable bigs.
yeah, yeah, and they need a three. Like Seagrist. I'm not impressed. I don't think she's a starting level player in the WNBA.
No,
She's fine as a serviceable backup. Come in and
yeah.
give you a few minutes, can hit a few shots maybe, but they have a gaping hole at the three right now.
Well, it's gonna be Paige because she's so versatile that she can kind of play
Yeah, but Paige should
any of
be.
those
I mean, I'm
positions.
it's on offense. Paige is your point guard. She's going to be
Yeah,
running the offense. So
yeah.
who's your three? I mean,
Well, then AZ is.
Azie's not a three. She's a shooter. You know,
And Enrique, I mean, I think it has to be those three. We'll see. It'll be
I mean, they
interesting.
got shooting. I mean, Enrique is super streaky, but yeah, I mean, Paige, I guess, is going to be your slasher and creator and everything, mid-range jump shot taker. So yeah, I
Mhm.
would if I wish Dallas had
Uh,
if Dallas could address that position, they could be a really tough team to beat.
they did sign Cheyenne Sellers to a training camp contract. She got drafted. What happened last year? It was like she fell so far in the draft, I think, last year, and then didn't even end up making a roster or was injured, got bounced around a little bit. But she's someone who has, like, when she's healthy, is a great athlete, and that would be interesting if she's healthy and playing well, and
But
she
did they have
sticks on the
Diamond Miller
roster.
back or did they lose her?
Oh, they traded They did a salary dump because Diamond Miller was a top three pick and was going to be owed $500,000 this year,
Oh,
and
okay.
they didn't want to spend that. So I think they sent her to Connecticut and got what's her name? A big from USC, um, but on an unprotected Raya Marshall from USC, who is on an unprotected contract. So if they decide to cut her in training camp, they don't, their cap space doesn't take a hit.
I
So
see.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So, but overall, good grade for Dallas in free
very.
agency, and they made the right choice at the top of the draft board. So overall, well done. We
Mhm.
can nitpick a couple things, but mostly well done. Another team I wanted to make sure we talk about is uh, Minnesota. And boy,
Oh,
what do you think
man,
about what they've done so far?
I
What's
feel so
happened to
bad
them?
for I feel so bad for Nafisa. Like she's been so close to a championship. She was a big part of getting the new CBA signed, and now everyone's ditching her and going elsewhere. Um, they have not retained they had like an incredible team, and we actually talked, I think, last time about how Minnesota might be in a really good position to bring in a star level player, because they really only have one max caliber player, in our opinions, in Nafisa, and then a lot of like fantastic role players, or not,
Yeah. No,
starting, but
yeah,
not like superstars.
right.
Um, but instead, what's happened is that their core has kind of gone and got a big payday elsewhere with teams willing to pay them a lot. So Alana Smith goes and gets a max in Dallas. Heidemann goes to Seattle. I don't know what her contract is, but Carlton gets taken in expansion. Jess Shepard leaves. And then Nafisa's timeline is unclear about when she's coming back from her second ankle surgery. But for all of that, they did re-sign their three of their four best players. They got McBride and Courtney Williams and Nafisa. So you lose Alana Smith, but you do have Dorka presumably coming back. Um, and they drafted Olivia Miles, which would not have been my choice, but um, who was starting for them last year? Oh no, it would have been Courtney McBride and then Bridget starting at the three. So I don't think
Yeah.
Olivia Miles will start, but she'll be coming off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know how they're going to do that. I, unless
And
they're
you
going
can't,
really small in the backcourt, you can't. Is Williams the shooting guard and Olivia Miles the point guard? I would have taken Betts if I were them after losing Smith. I mean, I
mhm.
would have shifted. I don't think Miles is an appreciably better player than Betts, and they've got a. You and I said we thought it'd be if you had Betts at center, you have Dorka at the four, Fee at the three, McBride at the two, and
Yeah.
Williams at the one. That's a
You know
good
what?
team.
Yeah, they did actually. They signed Natasha Howard. She played in Minnesota, was on their 2017 championship team. So they have Howard. Um, and they have actually Aubrey Griffin. They drafted her last year
Oh
with
yeah.
their third round pick, and she sat out the year because she was recovering from one of her many injuries. But she's on a training camp or yeah, training camp contract. So I don't know if you have those guys, add Aubrey, add Howard. They also signed Nia Coffey, who was at Atlanta. Um, so it's not a bad team, but they lost a lot of key pieces for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're sliding down in the standings, and other teams have improved, I feel like. And so it's not just that they've gotten a little bit worse and nobody else got better. I think it's going to be a tough road to hoe, I think, for Minnesota this year, which is
Oh yeah.
unfortunate. We like the way they play the game and we love Fee as a player.
hmm
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's tough because it's not like the NBA. You can't do like what the Pacers did and tank and hopefully get the number one pick next year because it's based on a 2-year record. Um, and they had the best record in the league last year by a few games. So even if they say, okay, we're sitting Fee out, she's focusing on recovery this year, and we're going to be really bad, you still don't have great shots at the number one pick.
right. Yeah. So,
Which, speaking of number one picks, teams, namely Chicago, are not valuing these future draft picks.
yeah, that's another team to talk about. Chicago just, I don't understand what they're doing.
I
They
don't
actually have a
know.
decent team that they've put
They
together for
do.
this year, but
They do.
boy, I don't understand their strategic approach and where they're trying to go long term.
It's so crazy. They keep thinking that they can win now, it feels like, and they're like, mortgaging their future, or I don't know if that's the word, but
That's the
it's
word.
like,
Yep.
yeah. So last year they have the number three pick, which is Sonia Citron, and they trade that to Washington for Ariel Atkins, a 1-year contract for, a 30-something Ariel Atkins, who's a good player. She's an Olympian. She won a championship with Washington, but arguably Citron was better than her last year and certainly had, greater potential and much younger. Um, and then this year they trade Angel Reese for two first round picks from Atlanta, which Atlanta's
Yeah.
not going to have great first round picks.
Yeah. That was really strange. That was kind of a controversial move, and I don't think anybody thought that was a good move.
No.
So yeah,
But
I really don't
then
understand that
they
at
go
all.
and trade Atkins to LA for Rakia straight up. And so now you've kind of turned what could have been Citron into Rakia. So that's actually not that bad, is it?
No, I mean that's not terrible. One less year of control on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's not. I don't hate that trade.
Yeah.
but Citron, that yeah, I don't know what LA is doing either. I don't understand what direct. I don't
No,
understand the direction they're trying to take. Also,
that's
seem
crazy.
to be in a win now mode when they had a great young core that they could
They
have
could
built
have
around.
had they could have had Rakia, Dom Malonga, and Rakia Jackson. That's
And Brink,
crazy. Oh yeah, what did I say? Yeah, they could have had
you said
Brink. Yeah,
Rakia, right? Did you
Rakia,
say?
Brink, and Dom Malonga. Yeah, so like three incredible, very young. Dom's only like 19 or 20, um, young players, and then you just have to find the guards to go with them. And they were obviously hoping for Paige, but just got the number 2 pick last year. But instead, they've gone old. They traded the Malonga pick for Kelsey Plum, and now they have traded Rakia
Kia.
for Ariel Atkins. And NECA has signed there, and Dierica's coming back, and Azuri left, and I don't know. I think they're one of the top teams in the league, maybe even top four as things stand right now. But I don't think they are title contenders.
No, but yeah, the NECA signing obviously makes a big difference. I mean,
Yeah.
that's huge. She's a great player, and so to have Plum and NECA and add Atkins to the mix. I
hmm
mean,
And
and
that
then
helps the
if
defense.
yeah,
They're going to be a great defensive team.
yeah, I mean they're going to be good. I mean, Cameron Brink is see how she develops. But yeah, they're going to be good. So they, I would just I would have stuck with a longer term approach because I think with New York and Las Vegas, they're not good enough to beat either one of those teams in a series. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It feels a little short-sighted when they
Even
could have that core.
Indiana, I don't think. Well, I mean, we'll have to see how things shake out, but to me, the top three teams are going to be Vegas, New York, and Indiana. I think LA could well be number 4. Atlanta, I think, is a little too young and inexperienced, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta was the fourth seed, right, in the
Last year, yeah.
last
And
year.
they
So
arguably
Minnesota's going to
improved.
fall down.
They haven't had any major turnover. Griner's out, but Angel Reese in, so that's an improvement for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better fit.
hmm
You
Yeah,
know, the, the
Angel, I love that move for Atlanta.
yeah,
Angel, like for Carl Smesco's system, shooting a lot of threes. They have some inefficient guards and wings out there who, if you're chucking up threes and missing a lot of them, Angel's gonna get so many of those rebounds. And
yeah,
if you give Ryan Howard 2 attempts every possession on three, she's gonna make something.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean I think it's a great pickup. It's a much better fit than Griner was with Jones, and so to have Bree Jones at the 5 and have Reese at the 4. I mean,
They're gonna be
yeah,
so good.
they're gonna be. And then you got Ryan Howard at the 3. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
Alicia Gray and
he's great
Jordan.
at
They brought
2,
Jordan
and
Canada
yeah,
back,
Jordan
so
Canada at the 1. I mean, that's a good team. I mean,
it's very
whew,
good.
they may be better than Los Angeles. I don't. I mean, that's going to be
So for me, I don't know. They probably are better, but will they perform better in the big moments? You have NECA, you have like how many championships do you have on LA's team?
yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think Minnesota. So you got what? So is it for me? I think New York's the best team right now, with adding Satu Sabali.
Yeah, the tricky thing about that is how do they fit together? What's the lineup? Is Phoebish your 2? Is Stewie or I guess Satu's your 3? Who's taking the shots? Is is Jonquel only getting 8 shots a game? Is Satu getting 8? That's the thing for me is do they actually fit? They have the most talent on paper, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it will be interesting. They've got a new coach also, so we'll have to see how that all works out. But I mean, Stewie is enough of a team player that, I think she will share the ball. I think John Quell's shown herself to be very willing ball sharer. She hasn't, seemed to be too concerned about getting her own. Like, you can see when Enrique gets the itchy trigger finger when she hasn't had a.
hmm
I don't see that with John Quell. So you got and Ian Yescu seems to be. I mean, she's more of a gunslinger than either of those two out of the 3 stars.
Hmm.
Phoebus is going to be a role player. She's happy to be a role player on offense.
Yeah.
So is Sabali willing to be the fourth option on offense? I don't know. She should
And can she
be.
stay, can she stay healthy?
Yeah, but health was their problem last year. But yeah, given health and them figuring that out, they're a scary team. They're
They're so
huge.
scary. They're huge. I think they're putting 6 foot, 6'4", 6'4", 6'4", 6'5" on the floor, I think, if that's
Yeah.
their starting lineup.
And
Uh,
Phoebus can guard so many positions, and Stewie can guard so many
and
positions.
Stewie can handle the
Sabali,
ball, and John Quell can handle the ball. So I assume they're losing Natasha Cloud. Nothing, Cloud hasn't signed anywhere yet, but I don't know how they have the cap space for Cloud.
mm,
Cloud can surely make more money somewhere else. But that's kind of the question is like, is Sabrina your only guard, your only ball handler? But they have those versatile bigs who can do everything. So it might just not look like a traditional, five positions. But my question will be, can they keep someone like Kelsey Mitchell in front of them?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I know they're long. They're going to have a lot of help defense back there behind anybody who gets beat off the dribble. There's going to be a lot of length back there behind
Oh,
to
and they
protect the
signed
rim.
Beck Allen
I did
today.
see that.
She's like 6'4".
Yeah, no,
Pretty. I don't know how they're making this work with the salary cap.
I don't either. Well, Ionescu signed for
No,
$999.
no, that was
Or is
Plum.
it?
That was
Oh,
Plum.
that's Plum who did that. Okay. So has Ionescu not signed yet then?
No, she and Stewie haven't, and they haven't announced any of
They
the
haven't
details
signed
of the
yet.
contracts. Um, the Plum thing was funny, and people don't
Yeah.
understand how taxes work because they're like, "Oh, it's so smart. She's saving money by not getting into the $1 million bracket." And that's not how taxes work. It's progressive. You only get taxed more on the amount over that. But
Yeah, so
I think she was just being silly.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I still think, that's a scary team.
Very.
We'll just see how they fit together. They got the most talent in the league right now. What about Las Vegas? Maybe we can wrap up and then look one more time at the draft, but before we sign off here. But what do you think about Vegas and what they've done?
I mean, they're running it back too. I think that last year was their worst team to win a championship. Um, like I think their 22 and 23 teams were better.
Hmm.
Um, but they were healthy at the end of the year. And Indiana wasn't, New York wasn't, Minnesota wasn't. So they won in kind of a down year. So like
Yeah.
running it back, obviously you get it, but it's interesting. Um, Chelsea took like a team-friendly contract, a little bit under 1 million, I think. Jackie, I think, took the regular max. They're saying they're gonna give Asia the super max, so we'll see. And Jewel took I they gave Jewel and Chelsea 3-year contracts, and Jackie took a 1 year, which is crazy. I would have wanted the
Wow.
opposite. Um,
Right.
I can't believe giving Jewel a 3-year contract is just crazy to me. She's obviously like at the tail end. Great career, but she hasn't been the same. She was great in the playoffs last year, actually, but kind of had a pretty bad regular season. They brought back Melissa Smith, and Bree Turner just signed with them today. Megan Gustafson is gone, Kia Stokes is gone, but Bree Turner's a great addition for them, I think. Um, yeah, they're gonna be good. It's kind of like the depth for them. Like they have 4 Olympians, but like after that, what's the bench bringing?
Yeah. Jackie that was my dream signing. I know you would like to have Gabby for the Fever. I would like to have had Jackie
Sure.
come back home to Indiana, Jackie, and fill that three spot for us. But that would have been my dream signing for the Fever. So yeah, maybe,
Unaffordable.
yeah, and affordable. It's a shame. She's somehow
She's so
though,
good.
yeah. Las
Yeah, so
Vegas
they're gonna
is
be,
able
as
to
long
afford
as
all
they
these people.
have
So
Jackie and Asia, they're gonna
yeah,
be really good. And
and
Chelsea
Chelsea
is
Gray, yeah,
still one of the top point guards in the league.
yeah, and she just can make. She's a shot maker, even though her shooting is so unorthodox looking. She can
Hmm.
just make things happen on the court. So yeah, so they're going to be competitive.
Oh yeah.
for sure. So it's going to be an interesting season.
Hmm.
Glad there's going to be a season. But before we sign off here, maybe a quick. It looks like the first round is wrapped up.
Okay.
So after the Fever took Raven Johnson, the Mystics took Cody McMahon with their third pick in the first
Hmm.
round. Then Connecticut picked up Nell Angloma from France. I don't know anything about her.
Hmm.
5'11". ESPN says she's 5'11", and they have her listed as a forward, so not sure.
Hmm.
Um, then the Dream picked up Okat. Is that who that is? Atlanta, the 13 picked up Okat.
Yeah. Yep.
And then huh, Seattle picked up Tina Mayer from Duke. I really don't remember her
No,
at
me
all.
either.
And then the Connecticut Sun, soon to be the Houston, whatever they'll be called, picked up Neepkins from UCLA.
Interesting. So
So
how many UCLA players are off the board? One, two, three, four,
all five of
five.
them.
5 out of 6 on the first round. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is
No
crazy.
wonder they won a national championship.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I would have rather have Neepkins on the Fever than Raven Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. I don't understand the logic behind Ty and Raven. Unless Ty is not on, is she just on a training camp contract and you're going to decide which one of them you think is better? But
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That seems high to me for a duplicative position.
Yeah.
Well, well, we'll see. So yeah, so I don't know if the second round has started yet, but the first round is in the books. So we will hopefully come up with another podcast in the next few days after the draft is over and things settle down a little bit in free agency. Maybe this coming weekend, do a draft, talk about what teams we think did the best. We kind of touched on a few teams, but maybe look at try to predict the playoff teams, talk about the best, you know, 15 teams in the league, and kind of take a big picture look at the league. But yeah, basketball's going on, and even though March is over, we get to keep going with the WNBA. So everybody, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and looking forward to the WNBA season. All right, well, I think that's it for the W Hoops podcast today. Everyone, please be sure to subscribe and leave a comment or a review, and we'll see you next week.